Hello everyone. The title of today's episode is Finding the Mirror of Existence. Find the mirror of existence. And so I am just a man, and I can communicate the experiences I have had. But the importance is that when one seeks to look at self, reality becomes the mirror. You begin to see the way thought accumulates for you is no longer individualized, for it's as if just like how you were receiving your world was receiving you. There was a movement, an existential movement, and as man existed in the way he did, there were many dimensions and many projections of that possibility. And so there is and needs to be a study and a new renaissance in regards to an introduction of how different human beings are moving into a self-awareness that is more collectively conscious and multidimensional. And it's not just like unity, guys, unity, let's hold hands. It's actually every being going within themselves, activating their ability to a sense that they are profoundly present here. As they are present, then life will guide them. Your intuition flows where you know you must go. Do not think you are here alone, but also recognize that the world was never here as well. That temporal reality is an acknowledgement that immediately needs to be done. Acknowledge that everything passes, the seasons change. Acknowledge how you are not the same person you used to be, but you have potentials to be amazingly great. It's about human ability, it's about human efficiency. Just let us learn from the wise eagle who, from the vision from the vision of the branch begins to ascend and fly and begins to see the whole forest. And once you begin to see where humanity is heading, it is heading into itself. Humanity realizes, just like how many people who are in a sense of negative communication with that which they're communicating, they want to preserve that from themselves. Separation comes out of love, but at the same time a love that is masked with unnecessary conception. And when I say unnecessary conception, it means as if you are putting so much attention to it that you think you have ideas. You think you are an idea. No, you're aware of these. Be present. Learn from how this world can in an instant introduce you to the unknown. And so who you thought you were, the only thing that you trust is just the being. Guys, don't be surprised. There have been moments where certain transitions have happened to me where who I knew myself as and all my certainty based on my past senses of experience and those personalities that were developed from those moments of my memory, it's as if a certain realization came that all of it, the only thing that was there was the being. It's as if I changed. It's as if everything suddenly was never there, for my conception never had to be just paying attention to that. So in a sense, there was a transition into a new reality, where it was as if I had never been who I used to be or who I thought I was. You see, thought is a friend we must learn from. Thought is invisible. And so you are the host, and you're the host of what is coming into your world and the many aspects of it. You need to begin to understand that in how you are keeping meaning for yourself, life is becoming meaningful. It is not up to the external world to do anything other than be a mirror of existence. And a mirror of existence is one that is showing that as you observe other, there's a part of you there, because whose eyes are looking. Man must get ready in a certain amount of time, it would be as if the flower that has been growing, which is the design of man, begins to sprout in a manner that, in other words, how would I say, let me use a better analogy. The lotus opens, the lotus is opening. As the lotus is opening, individual consciousness is finding reasons to be here, infinite reasons to be here, and also no reason to be here at all. And this is where we need to create new renaissances, new movements of existential inspiration. So I am not inspired by so much of the paintings and the artists, but how the artists were present. How was that Leonardo da Vinci looking at the brush? How was Einstein moving in that light beam in that thought experiment? Man must become aware of the subtlety of design. For how could Tolkien, underneath a table, birth a world in which we have created 3D movie scenes to keep those characters alive? 3D cinemas. Understand who you are, understand that complexity and simplicity is how much you're becoming aware of what you are existentially. Some part of this life you are working with others, but also know that in a sense companions are a blessing, but they're not things that have to be here. You must have an ability to have your own, to have a sense of harmonious existential confrontation while being alone. Practice being in solitude. Practice knowing yourself in the silence, in the stillness. Work and see how the pond, what after the angry person threw the rock into it, suddenly begins to calm down. Learn from the wisdom of that which is reflecting what is present in your moment. Because we are being told that it is light that is entering our eyes. And so that is how the body is being a body. But you must become aware, my friend. Where is evolution taking a body which has a mind? Outside of this playground, your home was of another one. For duality is here to prepare you for infinity, and infinity is here to prepare you for nothing. And nothing is where you are aware of what absolute no longer verbally means, but is in the sense that you have been. So as if all thought, all manifestation in an instant stops. Every symbol, everything stops at work. And in that moment you begin to see that you thought your intelligence was greater than the intelligence of your world, but your world is present through your intelligence. We are simultaneous beings, multi-present beings, multi-dimensional beings. Mr.Within feels this is a real thing and wants to very respectfully and very gracefully and very consciously, in a very useful manner and efficient manner, present this idea that multidimensionality is something where it does not need agreement. So many people are thinking, oh, we need to, how are the old systems going to change? Life is growing in a way where that change could never be man's interpretation. There is no sovereign land that belongs to the emptiness of space. You must perceive the accuracy of manifestation in more than how man is bringing forth his reality. So study the being aspect of the word human being rather than first thinking you're just human. Because humanity could be simply just a part of your world. Just like how there's intelligence here, your consciousness is not limited to just one locality of reality projection. What that means is you can see that moment where you're beginning to see a face in the clouds is as if a memory is hiding behind those clouds. It's as if you're seeing a simultaneity in your awareness. Man's observance was preparing him for a multidimensional form of growth. And so what that really means is look at how the biological being, this objective being, has evolved. It's evolved to man, and now we have self-awareness. Now what happens when there's self-awareness, where it's kind of like that interesting phenomena where you put two mirrors in front of one another, and it's like any object put gets an infinite value. Man's consciousness now is moving from this infinity into an acknowledgement where, holy God, I don't even need these mirrors. So we are understanding more than the infinity that cannot be reached in our perception, through our sensory perception of reality, but rather to see how the direct experience did not need imagery, for it was the awareness of image, it was the observance of image. And so transcendence meant the eagle that was flying above saw some of the forest in a way where that other bird on the branch could not see. You need to see that sight is a gift. Everything is your blessing. They told you to be grateful. Your grandmother just told you to be grateful for your food. No. You need to be grateful for your moment of existence, not in a manner where you're playing a story with yourself and trying to act traditional or trying to do some role. You must see that reality is here to be seen. Do not lie. Do not go and be people who you are seeing you are not. Have the sincerity and honesty and align yourself, because this is a matter of consciousness, and consciousness, that means don't care what others think. Be honest to yourself. Immediately be sincere. Establish this, because you need this existential platform, because man still does not know where the trust must go in how he finds where truth is. So we cannot trust our imagination, so we're just saying it's brain chemistry, as if it's a jug of water that's shaking. You know, it's very important to see the phenomena that is your moment, that is this presence, is provided with a platform of an existential relationship, a relationship of realness. So there's some level of realness. As you become aware of how this realness is here, you see the unreal never had to be anywhere else. So all those aspects, all those things you thought you were, suddenly when you come to the present moment, you see, gosh, I'm none of these. I'm just an observer. I'm just a presence. I'm just here. And that's when a certain silence comes within you, certain stillness, certain wisdom. You see, the teachers that you thought you need was only your awareness to your moment of being, my friend. Realize this, and through an activation that becomes your greatest step, become the efficiency that man dreams but knows always he has woken from, awakened from. Allow transcendental growth in communities, in societies, in conversations, in everywhere. Allow every being to exist in greater possibilities in their experience. Do not limit beings, for then you change yourself to a projection of how you're not being honest with yourselves. Because the nature of man is to help mankind survive. What that means is after your family's safe, after everyone, you go make sure your community's safe. You make sure your world is safe. It's just natural instinct. We care. We care for those we understand. And it's right now to see that we understand everybody, for we are no longer standing under anything. We are not standing under labels. Remind yourself of your absolute experience and tell me how much compassion the whole world, the whole existence has. Tell me how much compassion all that can be known has. Well, let me tell you, it has as much compassion to, in a sense, have you be here in manifestation, in form. Do not ignore the individuality you're given, for your collectivity is home. Realization for some becomes an attempt to try to see more than a character out of a story. But for some, realization becomes that moment where you are here to such a degree where your presence is observable to your knowing, to your sense of omniscient knowing, in a manner where your individuality and collectively are not your truth, but they are your smile in this being. They are you. They are here. The next multidimensional acknowledgement is to how attention integrates worlds by bringing the significance to how, if we were to look right here, there would be nothing. Because how else can we know where everything is? Give yourself permission, and of course very playfully go in nature and just explore what space and time means to you. Ask your children, tell your friends and family. Try to understand what space and time means. Trust me, in one conversation you with a stranger having about what space time really means, you will bond in ways of cognition. You will bond in ways of seeing why knowledge is a utility for them. So you will also learn so much from what that person has to say and that person has to say, and you are also communicating something better for the world, you know. Man is given many tools, but it seems because he's paying attention to his tools too much, he's forgetting how to use them naturally. And you must let it happen. This was a lesson it took me a while to understand, but I was rejecting a part of my world. You don't need to do that. Reject nothing and accept everything. Adopt everything that is happening as your existential responsibility, because you will see it will all come to your moment of awareness. It will all come to how you are present in this moment. Your significance, your intelligence, everything you can give to this world, you contribute to this world, save this world, is present right now here. You are alive. Now this profundity that is life is able to work with its reality in many ways. What that means is the minute you step out of that door, you can acknowledge a sense of consciousness in which a personality is walking into this world and thinks life is so hard and it's suffering. Or you can be a presence that never needed to step out into duality. You will see that it is your sense of knowing that will guide you. Mr.Within wants to suggest that the advanced communicator is recommended to observe his communication, whatever you're doing, whatever type of being you are, whatever kind of person you are, whatever kind of idea, you need to begin observing the self, for in doing that, it is like you're vibrating. You know, it's the particles are vibrating. Your reality is heating up. And as you do, you develop and are initiated by your own greater observance, sense of trust in this world, into what you must be and the next personalities in which you must carry as who you are. Your journey is one of finding the actuality of this cosmos, finding the actuality of this life. You do not understand many ancient wisdom traditions, and their advice was to utilize this, recognize suddenly the ape from man. It's like from animals, man has a self-awareness. This is a profound quality. Stop making things so objective that you're not getting involved because you're too convinced of a projection that you're keeping your life. Become aware of how all ideas are the same, and that is how humanity in its thought can find similarity. Because the greatest speaker knows that he speaks to have a unity in silence. He speaks to have the world be peaceful in silence. Because the human being can navigate well. We can make smart decisions when we trust life. We trust our moment of being, trust our knowing, and also trust what is happening. And sometimes it might not be things we understand. It might not be things. But if you are playful and you allow this reality to be something where you can work with, it will work with you. And so early on, where I was going through many clouds of doubt, I understood that there was a quote that came, and it was that your work works with you. And very playfully think of it this way: you no longer chase the butterfly and feel a step behind, You must sit down, the butterfly finds you. You must be still, sincere, honest, compassionate, and be on that existential platform of sensitivity to life, and then you are found in the greater knowing. It is as if your heart that was beating was always guiding you to this intelligence, which was the omniscience that came when light turned into vision. Much blessings.